Hi everyone! So this past weekend, Steve and I did a thing. We got married. For our honeymoon, we actually booked a cruise for next May, but we wanted to do at least some sort of trip after our wedding. So we actually decided to book a trip through a surprise travel agency called Pack Up and Go. I 100% recommend doing this if you are a traveler looking for a little more spontaneity. So basically you go on to Pack and Go's website, you fill out a questionnaire, you can decide between a trip that involves getting on a plane or a train, you can pick a camping trip, you can pick a road trip. You decide what days you want to travel and you decide what you want your budget to be. So once you have all of that figured out, you basically just give the money to Pack Up and Go, and then they book the trip for you and you have no idea where you're going. There is a questionnaire that you fill out where you can talk about what activities you like to do on your trips and things like that, so that they're, booking a trip that goes along with the things that you enjoy doing. And then a week before you are scheduled to go on your trip, you receive an email, and in that email are some logistics. So what time you should show up at the airport, what the weather looks like for your destination, maybe some packing tips. You also receive an envelope in the mail, and the envelope includes your destination. You're not supposed to open it until you are at the airport or until, that day that you're supposed to leave on your trip. And in that envelope, they include a folder with a bunch of information. We got a whole packet of recommendations for places to eat and things to do. So with your budget, Pack Up and Go books the travel and they book the accommodation. And depending on your budget, if there's anything left over, they will book a couple activities for you to do. So Steve and I got sent to Denver, Colorado. So we are in Denver right now. We just flew in yesterday. We are staying at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Denver. We were pleasantly surprised. We've always wanted to visit Colorado, so this just worked out perfectly. Our hotel is really nice. The interior of the hotel is designed so beautifully, and our hotel has some pretty cool amenities as well. There's a cool bar and lounge on the 27th floor called Peaks Lounge, and it overlooks the Rocky Mountains. They also have an indoor pool and a hot tub. They also have their own kitchen where you can get breakfast and lunch, and they even have a grab and go spot in the lobby. And then we went out to a cute brunch place called Syrup. I got the banana Foster pancakes and Steve got the huevos rancheros. It was a really cute spot. I definitely recommend it. I also ordered their fall seasonal mimosa. It was massive, but it tasted like fall in a cup and it was so good. Then we went back to the hotel and relaxed for a bit, and then we headed out to a restaurant called Linger. Pack Up and Go actually made this dinner reservation. It was amazing. I highly recommend visiting Linger if you're in Denver. And then we headed on next door to the cutest ice cream shop I have ever seen. It was called Little Man Ice Cream, and it was decorated for fall, and like I said, it was the cutest ice cream shop I've ever seen. I also read that they donate a cup of rice and beans to those in need for every cup of ice cream that you buy, so that is really nice as well. Me and Steve really liked that area. I think it was called Highland. Now we are on our second day in Denver. We slept in a little bit, and then we went to a really cool coffee shop called Vibe. It's like a coffee and wine bar. Pack Up and Go actually organized one activity for us today. They booked us 2 tickets to see the Botanic Gardens, so that is where we are headed to next. So we explored the Botanic Gardens. They were very beautiful. I wouldn't say the Botanic Gardens are like a must-do thing when you're visiting Denver. I think, a certain group of people would like to do that activity. We happen to be a part of that group. We enjoy reading about the different plants, so we enjoyed it, but I don't think it's something that everyone has to do when they're visiting Denver. Afterwards, we stopped at a hole-in-the-wall taco shop that Pack Up and Go actually recommended. It was very small, very straightforward menu, tacos, burritos. Steve got the chicken burrito, I got the chicken tacos. It was just a little old lady making them. She probably has spent decades perfecting her taco recipe, and of course the tacos were delicious. So I definitely recommend stopping there if you can. Then we headed back to the hotel and we finally went up to the Peaks Lounge where you can see the views of the city and you can kind of see the Rocky Mountains in the distance. Steve tried some of the beers. I got a glass of sangria and we also got the molten lava cake. It was really nice just sitting there in the chairs and looking out at the view. But now we're headed out to something that I'm really excited for. We are going to do a walking ghost tour. It's about like a 2-hour long walking tour throughout the city of Denver where they share historical facts and maybe even some spooky facts. We'll see what goes on, but I'm really excited for that because now that the wedding is over, we can kickstart spooky season. So we just finished up with the ghost walking tour. I had a really good time. I think it's a very unique balance between history and also like ghost story. We booked the walking tour through denverfreewalkingtours.com. Because we did the ghost tour, wasn't free. I think it was like $20 per person, but they do have free historic walking tours during the day and you can tip however much you would like at the end. As a travel tip in general, I definitely recommend Googling free walking tours wherever you're traveling. We've definitely done quite a few now. I know we did one in San Juan, we've done one in Salem. So we're getting ready for bed and we have an early start tomorrow. I am very excited. We are visiting the Rocky Mountains National Park and we're also stopping at the Stanley Hotel, the hotel that The Shining was based off of. So I'm really excited about tomorrow. Okay, so we've been hiking the Rocky Mountains for a few miles now. It looks like there's a main highway that wraps around the whole national park, and along the highway there are multiple sections that you can drive into and then park and then hike. So we stopped at the first section. I think it was called like Water Basin. It was so amazing. As soon as we drove in, there was a mama moose and a baby moose crossing the road. Honestly, my day was made right then and there. I mean, the first couple minutes of being in the park, and this is definitely a must do if you come to Colorado. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up to go on the Rocky Mountain National Park website before you visit. You have to get 2 types of tickets. You have to get like a timed entry pass, which was like $2, and then you also have to get your regular ticket for entry into the park. When we got here, no one actually checked for these tickets, so you could just like chance it, but I feel like sometimes they probably do check it. So oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so while me and Steve were driving to another part of the park, we were driving through this super cute town and we just had to stop and pull over. So we're gonna go do some shopping and maybe find a spot for lunch. I believe the town we're in is called Estes Park. Ended up shopping around Estes Park. They had a lot of cute shops. When we were done there, we headed up to Stanley Hotel for our guided tour. Stanley Hotel is where Stephen King stayed one night and he had some paranormal experiences there, and that's actually where he based his book The Shining off of. So it was really cool. We got to take a tour around the hotel and the grounds of the hotel and even hear some ghost stories. Our tour guide Jim, he actually had photos of some ghost experiences that people had while while taking the tour, so I mean that was really interesting. I definitely recommend doing the tour of the Stanley Hotel if you're coming to Colorado. And then afterwards, we just so happened to be visiting Denver in time for Great American Beer Festival. We had no clue this was happening. It was kind of just like a happy accident. So me and Steve got to go to that as well at the end of the night. I think they had like 2,000 breweries there sampling their beer, so it was a really cool experience. I mean, I'm not much of a beer drinker, but Steve is, so that was something he really looked forward to. But yeah, that concludes our trip to Colorado. Getting ready to check out of the hotel and head to the airport. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Oh, I gotta pee real bad.
We're going back.